Just like a hurricane here in Duckburg.
Alright, it's your boy Magnus. Some people call me Mr. Disney, because me and my wife, we love Disney World and Disney in general. I'm going to be doing like a Disney World travel planning vlog to help you guys out there, you know, plan your trip. This is just going to be an overview of what Disney World is. I'll try to keep it short. So let's get into it. Disney World is made up of 4 parks. I'm going to give you a couple of some pros of these parks as we go along. Magic Kingdom is the iconic park. That's the park with Cinderella's castle. If anybody ever filmed the 1996 sitcom, they filmed it and it had to be Disney World. You know, when people say they're going to Disney World, they think of Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom is divided into lands, like Tomorrowland, Fantasyland, Adventureland, things of that nature. Actually, Fantasyland is New Fantasyland now. They have iconic rides like, you know, Space Mountain and Tomorrowland and Big Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain, things of that nature, Pirates of the Caribbean. Every park, this park is no different, is made up of attractions, rides, you know, and such, shows, and food. And this is probably geared more towards your prince or your little prince or princess. Some people even, you know, if you're some sort of man-child hybrid like myself, you also love this one because it reminds you of your childhood. It's magic. Next, we have Epcot. Hey Google, what does Epcot stand for?
Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. On the website Disney Parks.
Hey Google, cut it out. We don't need the rest. So, what Walt Disney...
I don't understand.
What Walt Disney wanted this park to be, or he didn't really want it to be a park, he wanted it to be a community that was on the leading edge of technology. Basically, the thing about it is a whole community of beta testers. They test the merch, the technology, and it gets disseminated to the rest of America. Imagine a place where, you know, you had a tablet or something like that for years and years and years, and then suddenly they started popping up in mainstream America. Now, what it actually turned into, because Walt Disney sadly didn't get to see his park open, any of his parks open in Walt Disney World, Orlando, Florida, what it turned into was a World's Fair. You know, there's everything in this park now, from a place where you test drive Chevrolet cars, sort of kind of, and you become a test dummy, to a place where you know, get a hang glid's perspective about, you know, about flying around the world, to a place that shows you the history of human civilization, to another place where you get to explore your imagination. This is basically kind of like a World's Fair. This is kind of like a lot of technology, a lot of different ideas packed into one, with the recurrent theme being the future, being the new technology. Now, to depart from that message, but just to be completely and utterly ridiculous, they decided to also build a mile-long World's Fair that's shaped kind of like a horseshoe. And not the World's Fair, the World's Showcase. And it's kind of shaped like a horseshoe. And in this place, you know, you have 11 countries represented. I'm talking about countries like Mexico, Colonial America, you know, Japan, China, Norway, Morocco, France, United Kingdom, Canada, different places represented that are staffed by people from those places. So yeah, you can go to Mexico and speak nothing but Spanish, and every worker who works in the Mexican pavilion will understand you and talk to you in complete Spanish. They know perfect English, but they'll talk to you in whatever language. You can go to Italy and speak Italian. You know, last time we were in the Italian pavilion and we ate in Via Napoli. You know, the people there were very Italian. They had very thick accents, and the food was very good. You know, for America, they couldn't just pick America because we're in America. So they picked colonial America. So you get to, you know, and each of these places has an attraction in it. You know, the Canadian pavilion teaches you about Canada, modern day Canada. You know, the United States pavilion teaches you about colonial United States. You know, You know, they have other drugs, like Norway has a frozen ride, and Germany has a caramel store, Werther's caramel store. You know, Japan has the Michikoshi store, which is a Japanese department store that only exists in Japan and in Disney World. This park is serious business. Hollywood Studio, I don't really have a lot of time to spend on Hollywood Studio, but let me tell you that Hollywood Studios is a park that's in flux. Hollywood Studios is themed around old Hollywood. Their actors roaming the streets, entertaining you, drawing you into the story. You know, there's directors every place that are directing this action. You know, while they do currently, for now, have the Chinese Theater in the middle with the Walk of Fame outside, you know, that's going to give way to a Mickey and Minnie ride. This place is, why I say it's in a state of flux is because while you have mainstays like the Twilight Tower Terror, 13-story drop up and down with the computerized, randomized version of it every single time to the Rock and Roller Coaster that will shoot you 0 to 60 in 2.62 seconds. There are places being built like Star Wars Land, and we only called it Star Wars Land until we had a name for it. Now we have a name for it, and the name for it is at Galaxy's Edge. Park that's being built, or this portion of this park that's being built, is themed around space travel, and the fact that, you know, what would happen to a place that was highly accessible when it needed to be a stop between two trade routes, but when you have now, when hyperspeed is invented, hyperspeed travel and lightspeed travel, now it's bypassed. So now this is where smugglers go to hide and criminals go to hide. Maybe some of your favorite criminals like Rey and Chewie, you know, in the Millennium Falcon. You know, on top of that, you know, they're gonna build a hotel next to it, and I'll get into the hotels in a minute. You know, there's going to be a Toy Story Land with a Slinky Dog coaster. You know, things of that nature. So yeah, you know, that's kind of, there's going to be a Toy Story Land where there's going to be like a Slinky Dog roller coaster and a alien tilt-a-whirl and things of that nature. You know, it's definitely going to be the place to be in a couple of years, 3 years, when everything's open. But for now, you know, we have the Indiana Jones, you know, stunt show and things of that nature. You know, definitely food, ride, and attractions, but with more coming. You know, the Star Wars launch bay where you can meet Kylo Ren and you can meet BB-8 and things of that nature. And BB-8 will talk to you, and you won't understand him, but he'll talk to you. Lastly, you know, I know I'm probably going through these kind of quick, is Animal Kingdom. Now, Animal Kingdom came about because they wanted to do another park, and they were pitching ideas, and somebody just decided to just bring a live tiger into the meeting, and the live tiger sat down, and people were excited and scared and things of that nature, and they were just like, what if we had a whole park that kind of promoted this? Animal Kingdom is the hottest park out there. It's not hot as in progressive slang, like, that's dope. It's hot as in the fact that there are no buildings. This is the animals' kingdom. You know, your shade is trees, and it doesn't always do the job. You know, you walk in and you can just see, you know, enclosures just literally left and right of the path with, you know, tapirs and flamingos and alligators and things of that nature. But it's much more than a zoo. For those of you guys who, let's just get into it. You know, there's Dinosaur Land that explores everything dinosaur with the dig site and the dinosaur ride that takes you back in time. There's Asia, where you get to chase a Yeti around the Himalayan mountains, and at the end of the day, let's get real technical. Anybody who's on that ride knows that the Yeti is chasing you. Don't get it twisted. You know, in Africa, you know, Africa was built by people from Africa to look like an African village, a modern day African village, not a cheesy, dashiki African village, a modern day African village, that what it would look like today, staffed by Africans. And they have a Lion King, a festival of the Lion King show. So this is not just, you know, oh, Simba came along, blah, blah, blah. Now, you know, it's a festival where you sing and you play a part, things of that nature. You know, there's a safari that mimics the African savannah. And I'm talking about these animals are so close that if a wildebeest comes and sits in front of you and sits in front of that truck, you are stuck on that ride because that wildebeest is sitting there and they will not disturb that wildebeest's natural habitat. Because they want it to be, you know, pristine, and you can see, you know, giraffes and elephants and things of that nature just on the savannah. For those people who like Pandora, guess what? There is a Pandora built here. This is Pandora, the story of Pandora, hundreds of years in the future. So there's years of Navi-human relations that went into building this land. And yeah, you go like, oh, how do they have, you know, so there's a flat 2D representation. No, they're flying, 3D flying mountains. That I can't even stress you enough. 3D flying mountains. And this is open to the public. The paying public anyway. You know, you can ride, you know, you can ride a banshee, you can go on a river journey. You know, there are definitely things in this park that will keep you, you know, animated. And there you go. Attractions, shows, food. Let's get into the food. Food is miraculous. Like, you can have Asian fusion cuisine. You can have barbecue. You can have a myriad of different things. You just have burgers and fries if that's what you want. You know, on top of these regular amusement parks, there's 2 water parks. 2 completely different water parks. Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach. These things are themed weird. But at the end of the day, what water park is themed properly? It's wet, it's wild, it's fast, and it's family oriented. That's what you gotta need to know about these parks. You know, they'll keep you cool while you're there. They have wave pools. They have things like that. They have, you know, fast moving wave, you know, lazy rivers, not so lazy. Some of them are slower. They have water slides, things of that nature. Now, you're thinking, oh my God, Mr. Magnus, I really want to go, but where do I stay? Well, that's where the 20 different hotels come into play. You know, at the end of the day, Disney thought of everything. You know, there are hotels, there are different levels of the hotels. Values, moderates, and deluxe. And I've stayed in them all. Let me let you know that a value hotel is what it's called. It's a value. It's not a situation where it's like, oh, this is where the poor people stay. It's not that at all. We prefer to stay in value hotels sometimes. No hotel is crappy. Yeah, some of them have different features. You want to know a main difference between the 3 different tiers? Some you can't get a king size bed. Some has suites, some don't. There's not things like, some treat you like crap. That's not a thing. You know, in All-Star Music, you know, there's a giant jukebox, and there's a country music building, and then there's a, you know, calypso building, and things of that nature. There's a guitar-shaped pool. And I'm just going to run through these quickly just because I don't want to bore you with all of the details, and I do want you to find some of this wonderment for yourself. And also in sports, there's a giant basketball court. You know, in, you know, Art of Animations, there's a whole place that's themed like Radiator Springs. For you guys who don't know much about Disney, that's the land of cars. There's a Lion King side that has suites. There's a, and I'm still on the Value Resort. This is the funny thing. That's still Value Resort. You know, there's a Little Mermaid section. You know, for moderate resorts, the middle tier, you know, let's say that you want an old southern kind of hotel, stay in a little plantation house, stay someplace close to the front with a little river, little bog, a little creek. Stay in Port Orleans Riverside. Let's say that the south that you're from, let's say the south that you're from is a party. Let's say the south that you're from is very Bourbon Street. Well, you stay on Port Orleans French Quarter, which mimics the French Quarter. You know, statues of alligators playing tubas and horns in the middle of the street. You know, they give you beads, and guess what, ladies? You don't got to show the minis for those. Let's say that you want to taste of the Caribbean. Stay at Caribbean Beach, which has different sections like Trinidad and Jamaica and things of that nature. You know, these are modern. Like, let's say let's say that you want something a little more adult, but definitely still great. You know, stay at Coronado Springs, which is a mixture of Mexico and southwestern United States. That's pretty crazy. The theming is crazy. I was just there in May. Let me let you know, theming is crazy. And for those of you who might want to do business, there's a convention hall fully set up for business personnel. You know, you want to go to the maximum, you throwing money at the problem, all right, that's fine. Stay at the Grand Floridian, which is basically the Grand Floridian. Basically, imagine staying at a southern dream is what I can describe, where Cinderella just randomly dances in the lobby. You know, and for people who have little daughters, you know, Cinderella, big business. You know, let's say you want a little more, you again, just Just throw money at the problem. You know, let's say that you want a little more island feel. You know, stay at the Polynesian Resort, which has a restaurant in it that has to be a 4-star restaurant themed around Lilo and Stitch. You know, and I'm telling you, the theming for these restaurants, they might not be the theming for these resorts, and they might not be super Disney resorts. You know, they might not, you know, you might not have Simba walking through, but these things definitely still have fun things to do for kids. You know, the Contemporary Resort, which, funny thing about the Contemporary Resort, imagine a building built like a triangle where all the rooms were loaded in from the outside in. Shipped full rooms, built a room, built someplace else in a shoebox, the size of an apartment, and shipped in and loaded into a building and locked into place. And let's get into transportation. You stay on property, you get access to the transportation. The resorts, the high-class resort, fancy resorts, have the monorail that will take you directly into Magic Kingdom. You stay on property anywhere else, you got buses that'll take you from one place to another, one park to another. Resort to resort is kind of hard, but there's cabs that do that. Mini shaped and themed cabs. They call them minivans. You know, this is a crazy place. It is literally a world, and an all-encompassing world that makes sure that you don't have to leave. But places are open to the public, such as Disney Springs. It was called Downtown Disney, and honestly, it was getting kind of old, so they rebuilt it, and they built it into Disney Springs. You have places like the World of Disney, which is 5 Disney stores in one. A huge place that sells different things. Goofy's Candy Company, just in case you want a Rice Krispie treat that's painted like Mickey. But on top of that, you have actual restaurants like Raglan Road, which is an English pub, Irish pub. You know, you have Deluxe Burger, which is top 3 best burgers I've ever eaten. And I've eaten at Bobby Flay and Iron Chef's Burger Palace. And even this burger is better than that. Or at least definitely on par. Iron Chef Morimoto has a restaurant there. Wolfgang Puck has a restaurant there. You know, there's a Vera Wang, a Champ Sports, Alex Sedan, anything that you could possibly want to buy. So while it is very Disney, it is also just appearing to just be a very nice Floridian shopping center. With, again, food, attractions, and shows like the La Nuba show, which is a show that Cirque du Soleil built only for Disney. Or an amphibious car that you get in on land, but you definitely end up in the middle of a river. Or a hot air balloon that takes you hundreds of feet in the air. You know, and I call this Disney for free because anybody can anybody can utilize these services. You just show up. That's basically what you do. So yeah, that's kind of my Disney overview. You know, it is an immersive world that, you know, has resorts with 4 or 5 pools on them and laundromats, you know, everything from that to places where you just go and eat, to parks. Let's get into ticketing. Let's just let's peek into another branch of this thing. Let's say you want to go and you want to visit one of these parks. You know, yeah, you could pay $100 a day if, you know, you just want to happen and, you know, breeze in, breeze out. Or if you like it a lot, you can get an annual pass and go unlimited, or get a, you know, different tier annual pass and have the water parks included. And with the annual pass, you get discounts on the food. Or if you're like me, you live someplace else. So you gotta do something else. And you stay on the Disney property. And if you're staying on the Disney property, you get kind of perks. I'm staying in the Disney hotel, I'm going to Disney parks. Guess what? Park opens at 9? No. Park opens for me at 8. Not every park, not every day, but some parks some day. Park closed for you at 9? Nah, not for me, 11 p.m. Because I'm on Disney property. You know, your ticket is a band that you wear in your arm. I have so many of them, I lose them. I don't even know where they are. It's your park key. It's your room key, your park tickets. How you redeem your food credits. Let's get into food credits. You know, sometimes Disney always offers a food plan, which means that in certain tiers, whether you want to have 3 sit-down meals with a waiter every day, or you want to grab, you know, a couple of meals on the fly. There's different tiers that you can build a plan that suits you. And you can pay for it all in advance. So I'm talking about, I sat down for some food that I paid $70 a day for, but I finished paying that off a couple of months ago. Now I'm sitting down having meals that I know $150, and I just pay $7 a day. At the end of the day, to me, I don't understand how it happens, but they're losing money on this because the food is delicious. And once you pay for it, here's another thing. Even though it doesn't seem cheap in the beginning, think about a place where you could go and every meal was taken care of. You don't have to reach for your wallet. Your key is right on your hand. So imagine paying for food for your whole entire family, and anything that you do pay for, you want to pay for. You see a soda you want, or a candied apple. Yeah, you gotta grab that. But even that, to a certain extent, depending on how many of those you want a day, is a band scan. So what you're not doing, you're not worrying about your budget in the park. You're worrying about your budget in the park so you can buy Mickey plush toys, not so you can buy dinner. That's what it's like to pay for all of your food in advance. You know, it's a crazy system. And, you know, and I'll get to this later, you can make reservations. You know, it's basically set up so all of your worry is done the moment you pay off your bill. The moment you pay off your bill, and I'll get to that in the next video, the moment you pay off that bill, your worrying is done. Everything taken care of from that point. So what I'm gonna do next, my next video, I think I'm gonna do like 5 tips. It might blossom to more tips. You know, actually, let me not even put a number on it. There's gonna be tips as far as, you know, what you need to do to plan your Disney vacation. And then I'm gonna continue from there. And then the next video after that probably is gonna be a packing video, since, you know, it's getting close to our flyby time. So you know, I'll definitely get that out to you. But till next time, shifting paradigms, one mind at a time. Catch you guys later.